Hello, everyone. This is Rebecca with Digital Thinker. I'm coming to you today with our last session of HxGN Hacks. Katie is joining me today. She's going to be sharing with you. But before I hand things off to Katie, just a quick mention. I know we're a little bit behind in terms of getting the last couple of videos published to YouTube. So I'm working with the team to make those available, so they should be published soon. This is the last session of our current series. So this month we've been focusing on mobile and field productivity. We are planning to relaunch HxGN Hacks in February after the Streamline conference. I will put a link to the conference in the meeting chat. We'd love for you to join us in Greenville, South Carolina, February 9th through the 12th. If you have any questions regarding Streamline, definitely reach out to me. I'd be happy to answer any questions. So for now, I will go ahead and pass things over to Katie, and Katie is going to share with us on searching in digital work. Hey, Katie, how are you today?
Hey everyone, I'm good.
Great.
So I'm excited to show you guys today's topic. Hopefully, y'all don't have your Christmas brain set in quite yet. But what we're going to be going through is just modifying the global data spies to help with users' ability to search in digital work, as well as see the data in just a more overall user-friendly interface. So we're going to go through modifying a couple of global data spies to update the way that it searches. Then we're also going to go through modifying the data spy to control just what it's displaying on each tab. And then I just listed out the examples we're going to go through. So that being said, uh, Rebecca, I have these other slides open on my computer. So I'm going to kind of be going back and forth between
Okay, perfect.
PowerPoint and and EAM, and then my phone at the end. So let me share my screen here. Did that go through?
Yes, we're seeing your work order screen.
Okay, perfect. So the first one I want to go through is probably the most helpful and basic. So this is just modifying the work order equipment lookup. So out of the box, whenever a user goes to search for the piece of equipment when they're creating a work order in digital work, it defaults to be what it looks like here on the right, where you see the equipment number, you see the equipment description, and the organization. So this default search, you have to type in the equipment number to be able to find it. So to adjust it to be the description as the default, all we have to do here is modify this default global data spy. So this is where we just click on our magnifying glass. And I do want to point out you do have to have access to modify global data spies to do this. So typically, there's only a handful of users in your environment that are going to have that access. So once we click on edit for this default data spy, all we're going to do is go to layout. Notice that this global data spy is checked and we're just on the default. And then all we have to do here is drag that equipment ID to be below the description. So now whenever we save this, then it puts the description in the far left-hand column. And at the end, I'm going to log into Digital Work and we're going to go through all these changes that we've made. First, though, I'm just going to do them all on desktop. So now that we have done that one, the next one I wanted to show was the employee lookup. So this is another common thing that people are typically doing. I know most people probably have it set up to default the current logged in user's employee when they are booking time. But let's say if they're adding another person's time to the work order, it's a little annoying where the employee, it defaults to be the employee code, not the description. So for instance, if you don't have the employee's first name in that employee code field, then whenever they search for that, they're not going to see it. So another update I like to do personally is just when you're on a work order and this book labor tab, is adjusting this employee lookup field. So all we're going to do for this one is click on that magnifying glass again next to the employee. And then we're going to click this edit button next to our default data spy again. And then same thing like we did before, all we're doing is dragging and dropping the name. So we're just putting that name field above the employee. And then we're going to save that. So those are a couple examples of modifying the data spies to allow easier search functionality. Next, I want to show y'all how we can update just what the actual tab is displaying on Digital Work. So the next one I want to show you guys is on the Parts tab. And so out of the box, whenever a part gets issued, this is what it looks like. So it looks like you see the part number, you see the description, and you see the unit of measure. Notice you can't see the planned quantity, and you also can't see the issued quantity. Also notice though, we do only have 3 fields that we can choose to be displayed. So we can't modify as far as the number of fields that are displayed, but we can modify what is displaying. So that being said, on here, this time we're going to click on kind of more of the grid layout data spy. So on this issue/return summary, we're going to click edit. And then same thing, we're just going to go to layout. And this time I'm going to add the planned quantity. And let's say as far as the EAM part number goes, this doesn't mean a whole lot to your organization. So we're just going to drag that down. And I also want to display the used quantity. So now we're going to see the part description. We're going to see how many were planned for it. And then we're going to see how many were actually used. And that's just going to be on the parts tab on Digital Work. So once we save this, notice this is what it looks like now. Then the next example, so this is showing where we're searching for parts in Digital Work. So notice how whenever they click on the plus button to issue a part, we see the part number, the description, and the store. Notice we don't see the current quantity on hand in the storeroom. So that's really useful information that people typically want to see if they're trying to figure out if the part is actually there or not. So just like we did before, this time though, we're just going to click on the magnifying glass next to the part lookup. And then we're going to drag over this store quantity. So all I did there, again, I just clicked layout or edit, and then I clicked layout. And then I'm going to drag, actually going to drag this part ID down. Again, this is assuming that the part number doesn't mean a ton to your organization, where you think the people using the iPads are more going to care about the description, where it's located, and how many are currently on hand. And then we're going to go ahead and save that. So notice now we see that part description, we see the store, and then we're going to see the store quantity whenever they're going to actually search for the part. Okay, and then the last example I want to show before we log into the app, see our changes, is the equipment open work orders. So this is a tab that a lot of technicians like to see. They want to see what's also being done on this equipment. Notice how when we look at this view, we don't see a ton. We see the status of the work order, the scheduled start date, and the work order number. So they're probably more going to care about what's actually being done. So that would mean, in my mind, showing the work order description. So I'm going to go back, and we are going to this time go to the asset screen. Notice I'm already on this open work orders tab. And then just like we did before, we're going to click this edit button. Then we're going to go to layout. And this time, notice this work order description, it's actually not even on this default data spy. So what we're going to do is we're going to drag that over where we can see the work order status, or the work order description, the work order status, and then the scheduled start date. So again, you have 3 fields you can pick. Just pick, whichever 3 fields that you think would be the most helpful for them to see. And then we're going to go ahead and click save. Okay, so now I am going to share the app and we are going to look at the changes we just did. So just give me 1 second while I connect to Air Server. Okay. Can everyone see my phone now?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. Okay, so first we want to go through and we want to look at a work order. So we want to see that equipment lookup now whenever we search for a piece of equipment to create a new one. So I'm just going to pretend like I'm creating a new work order and I'm going to click on that equipment. Notice now we see that description at the top. So if I type in power, now I'm going to get anything that has power in that description. So then the second example we went through was booking time on a work order. So we're going to look at my Katie example work order that I have created here. And then we're just going to go to the book labor tab on it. And then I'm going to add a new record. And I'm going to click on my employee search. And then now, let's say I want to book time for Bailey. I can type in his name and see how now that easily comes up. The example we did after that was related to the parts screen. So now we're going to go to the parts tab of the work order. And then we're going to add a new part. So we're going to click on our plus button here. And then we're going to click on the part search. And then notice now our description is at the top. We see the store, and then we see the store quantity there. Then I think for the other change, I need to log out and then log back in. So let me do that right quick. So these were the changes that showed the layout adjustment. Okay, so I'm going to go back to work orders, go back to my Katie example, and then I'm going to go back to my parts screen. And so notice now we see the part description here, we see that planned quantity, and then we see our used quantity. Then finally, the last one we did was on the asset screen. So we're going to go to equipment and then assets. And then we're going to go to our open work orders tab. So let's go there. And then notice now we can see the work order description, our status, and our scheduled start date. Okay, so that was all I had. Are there any questions from anyone?
Yeah, Katie, there's one question here. It says, agree this is an easy fix. However, many of our users have their own personal data spies. Any suggestions on making this more universal?
That's a good question. Really, you would need them to shift over to these global data spies to control that view, or the second option just being having them modify their own data spies, showing them how to do that to view, the fields that they'd want to see.
Perfect. And this is great. I know just like thinking about a lot of times I refer to things by, something in the description rather than the code. So just taking the time, especially like on the equipment lookup, the employee lookup as well, maybe you have employee like codes, or a number, your Katie wouldn't know my employee ID. She would want to search by my name and so forth. So I think that's great calling attention to that. Also, just a quick mention, let me share my screen here. I do want to point out that in version 12.3, HxGN did make available the ability, oops, sorry, let me move that over, to modify data spies for those digital work screens. So for instance, on the work order schedule screen, if you're using that in digital work, you can either modify the existing default, which in this case, you can see sorts by work order number, then description. In this scenario, our users, wanted it to sort by equipment. Sorry, I probably didn't explain that very well. Let me take a step back. The default sorts by the start time on the work order schedule screen. So let's say, for instance, your technicians would prefer to work on, have visibility to all the work orders on their schedule by equipment. You can either modify the existing global data spy, or you can create a new global data spy and update the sort order, as I did in this case, to sort it by equipment. Whichever data spy is marked as default is what's going to be used in digital work on that particular screen, okay? So this only applies to digital work screens that are listed here, such as the map view, work order schedule, and hours work. One other question, let's see here. If we move the code out of the default, will barcode scanning still work? I believe if you're scanning, and Katie, correct me if I'm wrong, that would need to be the first, would that need to still reside as the first field in the data spy
Yes.
layout? Okay.
Yes, it would. I do want to mention there's an install parameter though with digital work and part searching specifically, where it'll default to do the global search, Robert. So with that setting being on, that may still work, but definitely test it with parts in that install parameter setting. But yeah, as Rebecca said, if it is the first code that you have, for the barcode, then it wouldn't work.
Wonderful. Well, thank you, everyone. I know we're at the end of our time together. Definitely reach out if you have any more questions. And thanks again for all of your participation in this recent HxGN Hack series. And be on the lookout. Like I said, we're planning to kind of relaunch HxGN Hacks later in February. But if we can be of assistance between now and then, let us know. And we hope you all enjoy the upcoming holidays.